Did you stay up and watch the entire first round? Most of us retired by the end of it, but I got to imagine you get excited for this still, even though you're not in the war room the way you used to be.
Well, you'll appreciate this. I had a call with my producer for today's show after the first round. So, and then I had to write up stuff for the first round. So I was up well past it, but that, that's part of your job. So
wasn't it cool, Charlie? Wasn't it cool, Charlie, to see the NFL draft kind of back to normal? In a nice little venue and people and fans and NFL Network obviously was there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, and the fans. That was so exciting to see them and the enthusiasm they had, and no, it was great. And here's Goodell, and nobody's got masks on. See, of the people that have been vaccinated. Now I get the fans and how they had to do that, but that was fun too.
Yeah, it was awesome. All right, so what jumped out at you at the beginning? Obviously, a quarterback-heavy draft. Trey Lance seemed to be the pick that kind of dictated everything. But what jumped out at you just at the beginning, how this thing unfolded?
Well, Trey Lance, because they kept that one pretty secret. They could have gone either way, but Lance is the better athlete and the better upside, so that's logical. Pitts, from quite a while ago, I thought that's what they would do because everybody who interviewed for the job had said Matt Ryan was still a good player. He got 2 years on the contract, and the cap makes you keep the guy anyway. But, 35 is yesterday's 30, or today's 30, I guess, the way these quarterbacks are playing. So then with Cincinnati going Chase, I had a guy tell me that, and I didn't put it in my mock draft. Next year I'll listen to him more. I should have. But, the offensive line was big to them, but I guess they couldn't pass Chase. And then Waddle becomes a chain reaction. Detroit wanted Sewell, so they got lucky there. Then Carolina, went with Horn, even though offensive line was a big need to them. And I had Surtain, and I did a survey of 10 teams. 8 of them had Surtain as the top corner, and I had him as the top corner. Denver can't have too many corners. Okay, so they kind of went off script a little bit there. Then Dallas, they wanted a corner. But they didn't take an offensive lineman, which was the next thing. So they traded back and gambled a little bit in the sense that Micah Parsons would be there, who was a top 10 player, best defensive player in the draft. But some people were concerned about some issues he had, so that's why he dropped. And then Chicago, they swung for the fences trying to get Justin Fields, figuring they needed a quarterback. So it kind of got off schedule, but then it kind of got back a little bit when the Chargers took Slater, because that's the guy they wanted, to complete the offensive line. And the Jets jumped up, got Vera Tucker. That gives them a great left guard. And I'll stop here. New England gets the quarterback that fits them. They need a fast processor in there to keep their system going. This guy's a fast processor.
Charlie, what do you make of Field? I don't want to kind of rehash the quarterback thing too much now. It's all settled. But what do you make of Field sort of dropping when, preseason and halfway through the season, it was all Lawrence Fields. And then Fields got up to such a really good start. And then all of a sudden, all these other guys leap ahead of him. What was sort of the tragic flaw in Fields that made him drop to 11?
It's a tragic flaw in the system, meaning this. There are two worlds. There's the media world and there's the real world. Yeah. Media world's way behind the real world. Okay? There it always is. Okay? When I put the tape on for the first time on Wilson, I called up one of our guys and I said, hey, I'm just starting on this thing, and you've been doing it for a couple of months. Let me tell you something. Is this guy for real? I'd only watched one game. I said, this guy's tremendous. He's got great anticipation, accuracy, makes plays outside the pocket. This guy's terrific. He said, yeah, what you're seeing is what it is. I polled 24 teams. 22 of them had Wilson as a second quarterback. Better anticipation, better accuracy on the tape. It was that simple. Okay? So the league had Wilson 2 and Fields 3. And
what about Lance? I can buy that. I don't know. The Lance thing is all potential to me.
Well, Fields isn't perfect now either now. Okay? You're right. Lance there's a big thing on potential. Level of competition, number of games played. When you watch him, the guy's got a very quick release. The ball just jumps off his hand. Strong arm. We know he's an athlete as a runner. Accuracy isn't pinpoint. Okay? A game he played against Central Arkansas, his only game this year, was horrible. Honestly, the accuracy was terrible. He took the ball out of his hands at one point. This made him a runner.
He was dreadful.
So that's what some people were concerned about there. But in reality, Wentz went right where this guy went. The two of them went in the top three. Wentz was an MVP at one point. Then he kind of fell apart, and the team fell apart around him. Okay, faster than he fell apart. And so you really, and I polled people. 50-50, Wentz or this guy. So if you put it in that perspective, you've already been there with Wentz going that high. And Wentz, again, at an MVP level. And then it kind of fell apart, like we said. So I can see it. The issues on Fields, and I interviewed a lot of teams now, were accuracy and holding the ball. Now, holding the ball becomes getting with him, going over the tape, and figuring out why he held the ball. So you can say it's a reach with Lance, but he's Wentz in the same concept. So my point is the teams had it differently. Now, you say Fields was ahead of Lance in the poll, 13 third place votes to 6, but Lance got 6 votes, and that doesn't count San Francisco. Jones got 4 votes. So the third place was kind of divided, even though Fields was generally the guy. So what I'm saying to you is everything you read and hear is not coming from the correct sources.
Joined by Charley Casserly, longtime NFL GM, now NFL Network analyst. Were you surprised by Jamin Davis as the pick at 19 for Washington football team? That name had garnered some buzz of late, but you heard more maybe Darisaw goes from Virginia Tech, maybe Koromoa, the linebacker out of Notre Dame, but Davis is the pick. How did you see him on tape?
I like him. 3-position guy in the 4-3 defense. So not a lot of guys can do that. I guess they're going to line him up at Sam, which would be your on the line of scrimmage linebacker. At least that's what I call it. I'm not sure. With them, he'll play off the line too. Athletic guy. Instincts. Finds the football. Can slip blocks, make plays at or near the line of scrimmage. But he's also a cover guy. And you'll see him, I think, in third down packages early on. Very good zone awareness, has the athletic ability to play man. He's not an under-the-radar guy because, I had him as a late first-round pick. I like the Notre Dame guy, Owusu Koromara, from the point of view of an outstanding cover guy, but he's only a will linebacker in the 4-3, a run-and-chase guy. So this guy's a little more versatile. They filled the need, solid pick. They got their bat on the ball, and it'd be interesting to see how they follow through if they keep staying with the best player or they move to best need or most needed player.
See, I thought that was their biggest need, to be honest with you. What do you think?
It was.
Yeah.
Well, it was that and free safety. Okay. Now there's a number of good safeties left in the second round. See, so they might hit that need again right there and get a good player in the second round. So from the point of view of if you're talking about and you do that, what's the board look like going forward if we've got guys there graded about the same? So that's to me the strategy. If that's what they were doing, that was pretty good strategy.
So what do you do with Landon Collins?
Landon Collins, I saw the report that they want to possibly move him to a linebacker, and that would be your will linebacker, not your on the line of scrimmage backer, not your middle linebacker. So I think that could be a very real possibility because the guy to me that really came on late in the year was Cameron Curl. I mean, this guy was a playmaker, played the run, got athletic to cover, and that was the first thing to me. I said, uh-oh, for Landon Collins. Landon Collins is a box safety blitzer. He's not a cover guy, okay? And they weren't a cover guy with the Giants either. So that's why the Giants didn't match the contract. So I think that might be his future is a will linebacker, maybe a package guy. If he's starting, okay, it's an overpriced starter for his position. But if he's not starting, then he's way overpriced.
Charlie, do you see Washington looking quarterback? Maybe not second round. Who knows? I mean, if Davis Mills is available in that 19th pick in the second round, maybe they kick the tires on him. A Trask, Kellen Mond. Do you see them going QB in rounds 2 or 3?
Well, I would. I wouldn't necessarily force it. I would. The guy that's fascinating to me, and they made the right move, side of Fitz, was Heineke. All I can do is look at the tape, and in a game and a half, or was it a game and a quarter, you can't make a long-term decision. But the guy played well. That's number one. Read the defense, knew where to go with the football, made plays outside the pocket. Now, people will game plan him to win from the pocket. That's what's going to happen with him. Doug Flutie, now this is going back a ways. In the second go-around, the first go-around, we played him in a playoff spot, tried to box him in, and the guy couldn't make a play. But he got better after he came out of Canada. He was a pretty good quarterback at the end of his career. So in the NFL, so this guy kind of reminded me as a good Doug Flutie. But I wouldn't let it affect your draft. If you've got a quarterback rated, then go ahead and take him. But we've got a gap here at this point in time. Between those that are taken and those that are coming up.
All right, so you obviously heard about the Aaron Rodgers drama yesterday. We knew he wasn't real happy even going back to last year because they didn't consult him when they drafted. They traded up to get Jordan Love and drafted Jordan Love. He really wanted receivers in that draft. They didn't get that. So he wasn't happy anyway. Now, apparently, if you believe Adam Schefter, he's telling people within the organization he wants out, and the 3 teams he really wants to go to are San Francisco, Vegas, and who am I missing, Cakes? There's another team.
Been rumored to Denver. I don't know if that's a team that's on his list.
There was another team that he wanted to go to. Anyway, there's drama there. Team president says, GM says he's not going anywhere. He's our guy. Is it so uncomfortable that they're going to have to make a move, or are you buying into any of this?
Well, he's complained before, so we have a history of that. The GM said he's not going anywhere. I believe that, and he's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he's under contract. Evidently, they were trying to negotiate an extension with him, and maybe that wasn't going well. That's a tough one at that age for that kind of money. But, guys play longer now, and obviously he played at MVP level. He does seem to complain. He shouldn't be consulted. They've done pretty well without his consultation. So he's played the best of his career with the coaching staff and the system he's in. They do pretty good for getting receivers without his help. So, if he doesn't show up, Jordan Love is the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But you're not trading.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
Did you have a
That's
situation
over.
like this, Charlie, during your career?
Well, Sean Gilbert, I guess, is the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
He didn't like his contract offer, but he was a franchise player, so in a sense he was a restricted free agent, could negotiate with teams. And eventually we did get 2 number ones for him. We had traded 1 number one and got 2 number ones for him. That's pretty good return on your value. That doesn't happen often now. I had that. I guess, we had some other players, which I'd rather not name, that wanted to be traded. And, we told them no and signed, and we got the deal done. So I know that seems to be a trend, and sometimes you're forced into it. But I don't see Green Bay trading the guy. I really don't.